distractions, and grind. Stay focused, no distractions, and grind.
There are only two types of Americans: those who live in New York and those who wish they could. Am I all good? Good to be back in from the days of state senator to borough president to police officer, I was a executive officer in the 88th precinct over here. So I know the area very well. Was the press here when they were clapping? You know, because you never get that. You never get that. You never get, what we have done. You don't get that. And you. That's right. The Christmas dinners. You never get where we were, folks. Listen, January 1st, 2022, when I became the mayor of this city, unemployment was high, particularly in black and brown communities. Crimes, mopeds everywhere, COVID. We were, locked inside. Businesses were leaving the city. No one wanted to be on our subway system. Foster care children were not getting the support that they deserve. We knew that child care was just too high. 2 years later, 2.5 years later, we have more jobs in New York City in the 400-year history. More small businesses. 20,000 illegal guns removed off our streets so it doesn't take the lives of our young people. We are paying the college tuition of foster care children and giving them a stipend for the year after they graduate and giving them life coaches until they're 26 years old. Drop unemployment by 20% in the black and brown community, and across all demographics, we've dropped unemployment. 4.6 million people are on our subway system every day. And you know we have an average of 6 felonies a day out of the 4.6 million that are on our subway system going to and from work. We have balanced our budget year after year, brought down child care from $55 a week to less than $5 a week. We have built record numbers of housing in year 1 and year 2, and we're going to do it again in fiscal year 3. More housing built in those individual years in the history of the city. Moved more people out of shelters into permanent housing in year 1, year 2, in the history of the city. Gave more people participated in the FEPS voucher program in the history of the city. You know, we took off over 80,000 illegal vehicles off our street that was being used for crimes in the process. And we managed the largest humanitarian crisis in the history of this city when 230,000 migrants and asylum seekers came in this city without the support coming from the federal government. We had to figure out how to manage the support. We did our thing as this administration. I could go on and on and on. 33% to MWBEs, the support we've given to justice-involved young people who have had a difficult time in their lives. I've been on Rikers Island more than any other man in the history of this city talking to inmates and to Rikers Island's officers who are there to give them a soft landing when they come home, because many of them come home to our communities. I lived up to what you expected of me. What I ran on, I delivered on. And you'll never read about it. You'll never hear about it. Because they want to give you the impression that I'm not capable of managing the most difficult city on the globe, New York. And we've done it. We lived up to it. And I'm you. There's nothing. I'm your sons. I'm your cousin. I'm your uncle. I'm your nephew. Just an ordinary blue-collar person that's now the mayor of the city of New York. And there are folks that's not happy about that. Not happy about it. And let me tell you something. And I want to get to your questions, but I want you to really feel me. That it breaks my heart when I see people who know me well. I've been doing this for over 40 years. And when I see people who slept on my couch when they were thrown out of their homes, or their children went through some crisis and they came to me, when I see them tripping over themselves saying, you need to step down, you need to leave, what is wrong with you? I would never step down and abandon this city. I'm going to step up. And I'm going to fight for you. When they fight me, I'm going to fight for you. When they talk about me, I'm going to talk about your issues. I got a blue-collar agenda, folks, and it is a real agenda to make sure that this city can be a place where we can raise healthy children and families. And I know you are in the prime of your life. You know, I know that you are enjoying life. I know this community so well. I've been through it so well, and I want you to know I'm going to continue to represent you and continue to do what's right. I was voted by the people. The people should decide when I leave or if I stay. Not some trickology that someone is trying to do to try to move me out. You elected me, and you should decide who's going to be the next mayor of the city of New York. And everyone who's running should come out and announce that they're running. Don't hide in the shadows and try to do a shadow campaign. Come into the centers and talk to you and communicate with you. Answer the tough questions. I'm willing to do it. You know who I am, so let's see everyone's agenda. Everyone is going to tell you what they're going to do for New York. I did it. And that's a big difference. It's a big difference. So why don't we open the floor? Let me answer the question. We got the amazing Commissioner Cortez Vasquez. Who am I pointing to? Who am I need? Okay.
This is the 20th, by the way. Say that.
Uh-huh.
This is the 20th.
20th. I'm sorry. One more thing before you answer your question. I'm sorry. 20th Senior Town Hall, and we always give out these magnetic cards, something that my mother had. What we do is you fill it out during emergencies, leave it on your fridge or anywhere you want. So if ever EMS or someone has to come, first responder, you don't have to figure this out. You know, you could just look on your fridge and we could get the information, and it's easy. So it has your name, your contact information, any allergies, medical, the whole package. Okay, so please take one or two. Take one for a family member. Take it for your boo. Take it for whoever you want.
I'm 80.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Bernadette Nicholson, and I'm a resident of Walt Whitman Houses and a member of the Willoughby Senior Center. And I want to know if you can help us to get our skylight clean, and the leak from the skylight and the leak from over there where the heart is hanging at. Can you help us get that done, and the broken windows that's in the center?
Yeah. Do I got NYCHA in the house? Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things. A couple of things, and give him a mic so he can answer to clean the skylight. This is the skylight here. You want clean? How do you get access to this? Outside? But is there a window? Is there a window? Where, all the way up? Is the window all the way up or is it down?
It's all the way up.
So how you got to do? Climb down with a rope?
No.
Okay. How are you doing? Okay. So first, let me share this, particularly for public housing. We have an $80 billion capital problem with NYCHA. $80 billion. The budget of the city is only 100 or something billion. And so everyone says to you over and over again, you know, the cavalry is coming, the cavalry is coming. It's not the cavalry that you're hearing those bugles, it's taps. If we don't get it together with NYCHA, you're always going to hear this. Someone's going to come in and we're going to be complaining. We have to change the game. And so we went to Albany and we got the land trust passed where you can vote on it by leveraging federal dollars to come in and do the programming. Sheepshead Bay passed it. We went around, we looked at some of the locations. These buildings need a major overhaul. You can't just put a Band-Aid on the crises that we're seeing in public housing. You deserve better. We got to have the money. The federal government, the state government, they abandoned NYCHA. We included NYCHA public housing in our housing plan. Never was done before. And we know that these repairs like this, they're real. The windows replacement, the roofs needs to be fixed. We know they're real. But we need the money to do so, and we need for you to add your voice to other funding methods so we can get it done. Like, can we talk about this roof and how you're going to climb
Yes,
down?
sir. Yeah, so my name is, yes, sir. I'm not climbing up there right now. My name is Dan Green. I'm the Executive Vice President of Property Management at NYCHA. So I supervise all the properties throughout the whole city for NYCHA. So I apologize, first of all, for this issue. Unfortunately, our community centers, we often have these types of issues because they're like our other buildings. They're a bit older. And when we have these older buildings, they have these leaks from above, which are a huge problem. And also the windows here are probably outdated. So we're going to have a team come and take a look at this. We'll have our Brooklyn team. But as Mayor Adams stated, the issue is money for NYCHA. The same money that would be spent on the center is the same money that we spend on the apartments. And we get a limited allocation each year for each development that we can spend. So we try to do our best with the resources we have. And we do have skilled trades who are very good and who can do some of the work. But some of these repairs might get to the capital level. So we're going to send a team here. We'll send a team here maybe even as soon as tomorrow to take a look at, to take a look. We're going to take a look. I've already exchanged information with the center directors over here, so we're going to make sure that we're going to check. But again, we're going to have to first see how much it costs and what the repairs consist of, and then we're going to follow up and make sure that we tell you what the next step is on those. But unfortunately, we do have these issues across the city. Glebe Avenue, a senior center in the Bronx, affected by a steam leak. Beach 41st, a DYCD center out in the Rockaways, affected by another major steam leak. We have, unfortunately, a lot of problems, infrastructure problems, that are not like simple repairs. So we're going to commit to look at this, and then we'll get back to you on the next steps.
Yeah, no, we'll find out. But we could talk about cleaning. You say clean the sky.
Clean the windows. That we could, yeah. That would be.
I'm
the
sorry.
leak.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
The leak is most important. I'm Claudette Macy, the CEO and Executive Director of Fort Greene Council. And that's my commission, and this is my mayor. And I just want to say, it falls on me when it doesn't happen, because they can't even sit here. Water comes like there's no ceiling. When it rains, like there's no ceiling up here. And they have their lunch. This is their largest area.
Right.
And it floods. Thank God they finally did some tiles. It was horrible. And the cleaning of that, we were told years ago, it cannot be done, because you got to get a special thing to go up. When they build a building with a steeple and a circle, nobody thought of that. So I'm just saying to the mayor and NYCHA, they will be calling me as if I have the money and I have to do something. They'll call DIFTA, and DIFTA say, you got to do something. So before DIFTA tell me, I have to move them in little cars. It literally is ridiculous. So please, I know you tell them they're going to come to me if you don't come next day and look. So listen to what he's saying. He said they will look, not fix. They're going to look at it, which they've been doing for the years I've been here. So I don't know, Mr. Mayor, do you want everybody to collect money to fix this roof?
Yeah, but see, but let's you. I'm glad you said that. You said notice what she said, what the director stated. She said this has been going on for years, and so these systemic problems that we're facing is because people have kicked the can down the road for years. What we stated, we're going to go to Albany and we're going to fight to find different ways to fund this problem. If we don't do that, then you're going to be seeing it continue for years. That's why we came up with the NYCHA Land Trust and other ways of funding. That's what we have to do. And every time we do it, folks who don't live in public housing, I see y'all, folks who don't live in public housing yell and scream about don't do it. And we say, okay, well, what is your plan to deal with the funding? Throwing a rock is not a plan, folks. You need real methods to address the problems that we're having. And so I'm not afraid to come up and show you these real methods of fixing these systemic problems. You should not be sitting in the room where the roof is leaking, but the money has to come from somewhere, and we have to be willing to go find that money, and that's what our team was willing to do. So we're going to come and look. It may be a simple patch job that we can do. It may be a simple correction, but if it's in the walls, and it costs a substantial amount to do, it's just we got to be honest. How do we get that done? So we're with you. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. I can give one. Yes. This has been cleaned. It was cleaned in 2000. Okay. I know I was here. Okay. And it was difficult because when they open outside,
when they opened the outside, it was dangerous. The man had to make sure he didn't slip off the roof up there because it's slanted. But they did clean it as possible, as much as they could.
Right.
It takes a great deal more than just, say, one person. It takes a great deal of job to do that. And I know it's been done, and it can be done.
Right.
Okay, so I just want to let you know. Don't think that it wasn't, that someone can't, because they can.
And it may be another way we could drain the water.
They went outside.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's a window cracked or open up there. That's why it's leaking.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. But we'll look, and we're going to come back and let you know what the prognosis is. Okay. Who knows how? You know how to get up there?
Yeah, my name is Anthony Mabry. I'm the founder of A Men in the Transitioning Lives, 50C3. I'm happy to see this going on because we take it upon ourselves to throw them parties in here. We don't ask the government for nothing, no disrespect, but we take it upon ourselves because we know that the seniors is left out a lot. And they here to rouse for it. We come Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and we do parties in here. So to get up there, we could get up there. Because we from here. When we was young, we used to be up there. I might be the cause of the crack, to be honest, running up there. So to get up there and clean, it's nothing to do. But I'm also happy to see that y'all here worrying about the seniors because, you know, they the foundation, they the root of the community, and, you know, everybody living on borrowed time. So to see them here, see them happy, and that's all we want to do is make them happy. So, yes.
What's your name? What's your name, brother? What's your name?
My name is Anthony Mabry.
Anthony?
Yes.
You know, and you know, first of all, thank you. And you know, this is what intergenerational love is about. You know, and there was on my block there was a woman named Miss Brown. You know, I would stop by her house every day. She was in her 80s. I would stop by her house every day. Miss Brown, you need something from the store. I would make sure I shovel her snow. I would make sure I paint around and remove the leaves in front. And so we need to lift this brother up for what he's doing, you know, and a real, you know, and you know, I have a nonprofit, and you know, so God works in mysterious ways. Someone just called me and said that they want to contribute to a nonprofit of my choice, and I'm gonna see if they can give you $5,000 to do the stuff that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate you. Tommy, give them, exchange numbers. Give me your number. Okay, so let's get in contact, you know. And you're a cool dresser, so I want to hang out with you and find out where you shop. Right. Really appreciate you, man.
Community building.
Community building. Where am I going? What's your name, brother? Your what? I'm sorry? Give him the mic.
My name is Carlos Jones. I'm the CEO of Switching Lifestyle. I deal with all the gang violence, the gun violence in this community. That's why the gang violence is down, the crime is down because of my work with Switching Lifestyle. And I learned from the czar, A.T. Mitchell. He's my mentor. He showed me the game. He showed me what to do when it comes to crisis in our community because we know this disease is crazy. It spreads like wildfire. And it's called violence, right? And this is what we do. These lovely people here know what I do for them in this community. I stop the violence in here. I bring the party to them. I do Mother's Day for them here.
Yes.
Anything for them. Thanksgiving Day. I come to this community to change the community norm.
Love it.
And this is what we do. This is my cousin.
Okay.
We out here. I mean, I'm a real mentor out here. People look up to me. Mm-hmm. I was once the problem. Now I'm the solution.
Love it.
I do the work.
Love it.
That's why the crime is down in Fort Greens.
Yes.
2024, we got the safest summer ever in history.
Love it.
Because of the work I do, and my mentor, the czar, A.T. Mitchell, taught me this. And we here, we can climb up there together. We've been climbing up there all our lives. I was here in daycare in this school, right, in this nursery when I was a kid.
Love it. Switching lifestyle.
Switching lifestyle.
You know, A.T. is my guy. We've been running for about 30 years.
Yes,
so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell A.T. next week sometime, come over to Gracie, man. Let's have dinner. Let's smoke a cigar, sit on the back porch, and just talk, okay?
And I'm gonna bring these my ladies. I love them. They my mothers. I love them, and they love me, man. And I appreciate you here, Mayor.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the work. You're saving lives, man. Saving lives, you know? Switching lifestyle. So Tommy, make sure that we connect, you know? What do you drink? Tito's? Yeah, that's real.
Whew, finally. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mayor
How are you
Adams.
doing?
I'm fine.
Good.
My name is Renita Reed. Born and raised in Bed-Stuy, but I reside now in Williamsburg. In spite of it all, the beat goes on. I would love for you to come to my community, to our senior center, which is in independent houses in Williamsburg.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to present the question here at this table. And we would like to know, what support can your office lead us into getting a community center to foster greater integrational programming?
What I say all the time is that we have a ton of community centers that we are ignoring. They call school buildings. We open our school buildings at 7 a.m., close them at 2 p.m., and tell our children not to come back. We have gymnasiums there. We have auditoriums there. We have classrooms there. Some of our schools have pools there. What we're doing in this administration, we're opening these buildings up. And we should utilize them because they should be a focal point for our community. People are comfortable in going in there, no matter where they come from. And it is our goal to give you access to these school buildings. I bet you in that community you're talking about, within blocks, there are several schools that are located that should be utilized. Now, we also are building new centers. We did the Shirley Chisholm Center within a short period of time in Flatbush. And so if there are areas we want to partner with your local elected, like we did with Councilwoman Lewis, to build that Shirley Chisholm Center, we would love for Councilwoman Lewis to connect with some of your local electeds and community groups and see how she built it fast track so we could do the same thing in other parts of the city. But in the meantime, before we could put a brick in the ground, we need to use what we have right now, and there are school buildings that should be open and utilized. Commissioner Howard from DYCD has been identifying our programs in the different communities. We can connect you with him, and he'll tell you which school building in the community can be utilized. Okay? All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Hold on, we're going to come around to you. Hold on, we're going to come around to you. No, you have to do 2 seconds. Let's go. We're not going to, I won't leave until I answer your question.
Good
you know,
Mayor.
what you say? Go ahead, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor Adams.
Yes, how are you?
Welcome to Willoughby Center. My name is Deborah Brown, and I am from Fort Greene. Born and raised here. In 1975, my son graduated from this daycare. Now, my question to you is that how we'll be able to get more funding for the program that we have in this community center?
I want to turn it over to our amazing commissioner, talk about the funding. We went through a serious funding crisis, but we were able to hold a lot of these things harmless. Why don't you go into that, Commissioner?
So we were under the threat of closing 80 older adult clubs. And with the work of the administration and the commitment of OMB, we were able to stem that. The commitment is going forward, barring anything else that happens. The commitment is that our centers will stay whole because, as the young woman just said to us, we don't have enough of them. So that's what our commitment is.
And is there a particular program you're talking about?
Yes, we have sewing and we have jewelry making.
Sewing and jewelry making?
Yes, sir.
And what we used to do that knit at Borough Hall.
And we crochet.
Yeah, crochet. We used to do that at Borough Hall. And what is the cost of those programs?
Well, we have Kenny right here.
Who's your director? Who knows the cost of the program? Yeah, hey, what's up, Kenny? How are you? What's the cost of the program? And there's no way you asking for money and don't know what the money is.
Right.
Hello, for the crocheting
Hold on. One at a time. Who's going to do it? You going to do it, Kenny? Who's going to do it? Okay, go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. Adams?
Yeah, how you,
for
brother?
the crocheting and sewing, for we're doing a fashion show, so that's about $400. So but for basic supplies, probably run from $200, and then some of the sewing machines are not working. So we do a lot to make everything last. But it's a lot of stuff that we're missing in the center that we need.
Okay. So since you asked the question, I don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna tell you now, but I love to invest in the happiness. I don't. For every year I did something special for mommy when she was alive. I lost her when I was running in 2021. And each year I try to donate it to something that she would love. So I'm going to donate my mother's gift to make sure those two programs is done. Contribute to what you're doing right now, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right.
And I want to say one more thing.
Yes.
Thank you for the invitation for Gracie Mansion. I was there for the Caribbean Day Festival we had there. It was awesome.
That was you
I gotta
dancing
check it
up a
out.
storm.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tommy, so who should we connect with the director, all right? And I'm going to come in and hang out with y'all when y'all do so. I could hem, I could take in my clothing. Mom taught me how to do all those things because she said, you know, so make sure, Tommy, you got to connect with them across the way. We're going to come back to you, Sister One. Get to the tables, and I'm going to come back.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
All right, how are you?
My name is Ernest Callender, and my table is presenting the problems at NYCHA for more police presence
More police present
and locks on the doors.
in a lot of way?
Locks on the doors.
Locks on the front doors?
The front doors.
Yeah, major problem, you know, and we there are a lot of doors that are broken because people don't have the key. They lose their key. They break the door. And I don't think we have figured out well how to do a presentable, reinforced door. You know, I saw that when we were at the Polo Grounds. You know, just about every other building, the doors were, you know, they were destroyed. So we have to really figure out how do you do a good door that it doesn't go through the vandalism that we're seeing, you know. But who has a PSA? What's up, Captain? How you doing?
How are you, Mayor?
Good, man. Good to see you.
So all of the directors of each development through the 5 precincts that I cover every night text me which doors are not working. Every night I get a text from each one of them, every door in their development. And what we try to do is we have the officers that are in the development go to those areas and make sure they patrol up and down the stairs. As far as the manpower goes, we have a dedicated...
Hold on,
let him
finish. Come on, let him
well,
finish.
there's multiple buildings with doors that aren't locked. And I do have a field report, which is towards NYCHA to repair the door, and that's with what's within my scope as far as repairing the door. So I make that report, and then we try to attempt to make sure we hit those buildings. We do have 10 officers, 1 sergeant dedicated to Ingersoll Whitman here from 17:30, which is 5:30 at night till 2 o'clock in the morning. And even on their days off, I have officers covering. I have 8 officers and 1 sergeant covering this area, besides the normal patrol. And you should see them out here because I watch their body-worn camera videos and I know where they are in this development.
So thank you. And I would encourage you to, you know, we're doing a real recruitment. I really encourage you to tell the young people in your lives to join the police department. You know, join the police department. You want the quality policing you want. Like, you know, having these 2 brothers here, imagine if they were in the law enforcement community, giving back in a real way. And these cops, Commissioner Stewart, what he has been doing with community affairs, he came in, he was detecting an A4, right? District 30, okay. He came back. Detective Stewart is teaching young people golf, how to fly planes, how to get their real estate license, how dual language. What he has taken the community affairs with his team, community affairs stand up, all the community affairs folks who are here. And who's the senior liaison that's here? Okay, you know, what he has done, thank you. What he has done, he has really put the community back into community affairs. And so we need more police officers. We're going to have a large retirement because many of them are reaching their 20 years. So we need to encourage our young people to come into the department. It's a great career, and they can give back in their community in a real way. Okay, where are we? I'm not gonna leave you, brother. Let it do. They got this little organizing stuff. Then I come back. How are you, ma'am?
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
And Mr. Adams.
Yes.
And greetings to everyone here. My name is Ann Maldonado, and I belong to Willoughby, but I'm also a member of all the senior centers in Brooklyn and Manhattan, because once you join one center, you belong to all the centers.
Love it.
So I go regularly to Grace Agard, where Miss Macy is, at 966. That's where I regularly go to because I live on DeKalb Avenue, which is closer, so it's easier for me to get there. But I love here also. Here is very active, and I love to come here. So I visit here 1 week, and next week I go to Grace Acard. So I spread myself through all the centers. I visit other centers also. So my question for our table is with reference to funding for food. What's happening is that the older adult centers, the food costs are fixed and not reflective of current costs. This affects the quality of the food, and we are asking what could be done. And do you understand the question?
Yes, I do.
Because I can break it down for you in
No, I got it. What's happening with the food? How do we do the food?
You will be happy to know that one of the unmet needs that we submitted to the city in recognition that not only food costs but fuel costs have gone up, and that the number of older adults going to older adult centers has also grown. So we've put in a request for additional food costs. But the only thing I don't agree with you on, I don't think Ms. Macy's cooks say that the quality of the food has gone down. And we also do plant-based food. So, oh, okay, great. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted. But we are aware that we need to get more food dollars in for food costs, and so that's a request that we've made.
Great. So our budget director is going to factor that in, and hearing directly from you matters. Where am I?
Yes,
How are you?
Mayor, my question is, I grew up in this neighborhood.
Yes.
In 1970s. All my children were born in the Cumberland Hospital.
Wow.
And now I'm senior. I live in housing, but it's regular housing. I would like to know why there's no more seniors housing for elderly. Like we could live in a piece of place, because I live on the 13th floor, and sometimes I gotta walk 13 flights up because the elevators are down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's many floors. Right now, it's been doing okay, but I think the older we get, the worse it's going to be for us.
Right.
And not all of us could do it, so why there's no more seniors building for us in NYCHA?
Great. Now, the question was more senior buildings. We have a real housing crisis. We have a 1.4% vacancy rate. That is why we pushed what was called City of Yes. A lot of people didn't know what we were talking about. Our city is divided by community boards, 59 of them. 10 community boards out of the 59 was building more housing and affordable housing than the other 49 combined. Those other 49s were basically saying, we don't want builders in our community, we don't want more housing, but we were successful in getting past that whole City of Yes that you heard about. Because we got to build more. If we don't build more, then we won't be able to allow people to make that transition that you're talking about. And we have to build more senior housing. So we got a project we're doing down, it's called Elizabeth Street Garden. It's one of the biggest fights we're having right now. We want to build 100% senior housing, affordable housing in that location, but people say they don't want us to move because they have a park there. We're going to build new housing and a park that everyone can have access to. And so they're suing us now, but we're going to continue to fight because we need housing. That's the number one thing, because you're right, you should be able to transition into another space.
But the thing is, if I go to housing, ask for transfer, right? I ask for a lower floor because of my condition. I took letters from the doctors because I suffer from kind of issues. So they gave me transfers, but all the way out of here, 2 places. So I say no because I want to be in the area where I grew up, where everybody knows me. I got my doctors around, my friends around. So why they got to send me someplace that I'm going to be lost?
And the demand, because everybody want to stay in the community where they grew up. The demand of housing, and now we're getting more and more older population in housing, they're making a similar suggestion. They want to move to a lower floor, and because of the demand of the housing, it is difficult to accommodate people within the same community. They want to move them to other locations, and so it's a sacrifice. You want? Yeah. Hold on one moment.
Yeah, so I want to get your information. We do have a lot of vacant apartments around here that we can work with you and see if there's a lower floor in one of these in Whitman or Ingersoll that might be able to accommodate you. It's not a senior building, but we can look to see if there's any lower floors. And our selection process is governed by like a very complicated system. But we will work with you and look at your documentation to see if we can arrange that, because we do have a lot of vacants in these two developments in particular. So let's talk after the meeting to see if we can arrange that.
Okay,
Understood.
so you got the right man for the job. You know, see if we can accommodate. What's happening? No, because you want to do night shift, and he's gonna set it. What's happening? How are you? Good. Shh. Is it on? Is your mic on? God, the guys do well in here. Y'all outnumbered, man.
You know. Mr. Mayor, I got my first job here giving out BD pamphlets when I was about 13.
Wow.
I'm from the Gowanus houses. And I remember when I came up, the B cops and how you had to look all over the place because they were all over. But so many people talked about that. So I had to go with the table, and I have to ask you the second question. And the second question is, are the homeless shelter in Clinton Hill, specifically on Hall and Ryerson Street, going to be closed?
Well, first of all, you should applaud your former district leader for the work that she did, you know, on advocating. Yes, Renee, who is a longtime family in this community. You know, we did a street naming when I was borough president. You know, about your family member. Was it your dad that? Yes. You know, her family was here long before Starbucks. You know, and she called, she reached out, she advocated for the community. We went over, had a meeting with some of the residents there in their block. We sat down, had dinner with them, and spoke with them. And that center will be closing. We closed 53 centers in the last year. You know, folks, let me tell you how hard that was for, you know, we had 230,000 migrants and asylum seekers. I was getting roughly 4,000 at one time a week, 8,000 every 2 weeks, 16,000 a month. And I was required to find them housing, feed, educate 40,000 children, get them on a pathway. I couldn't stop buses from coming in. It was against federal law. I couldn't allow people to work. I was fighting to say at least allow people to get a job. I couldn't even allow people to volunteer and give them a stipend. They said that's against federal rules. And we did it. 180,000 we transitioned to be self-sustaining because we put in real programs in place. And when we put those programs in place, people criticized us. No matter what we did, they was criticizing us, criticizing, you know. But we did it anyway. We kept our heads down and we did the job. And you know what's interesting, what I find really fascinating? The same people that was criticizing me back then are criticizing me right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just got to ignore people. You'll get nothing done if you listen to them all the time. And not one of them went to Washington. Everybody's complaining about what this president did with the $80 million. We lost $7 billion, and none of them went to Washington. No one wanted to complain. You know, they had what is that when you lose your voice? Laryngitis, right? So, yes, we're closing it. We're closing it. We are trickling down. Our numbers now are down to about 30-something thousand out of 230,000. with Deputy Mayor Williams Isom, Camille Joseph Volok, Molly, what they did was unbelievable. You know, they were up all times of the night. 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, another bus comes into to the Port Authority. They had to get there, take the families, put them inside, put them in the educational system, and they did it in commitment after commitment. And all they got were people who did nothing. They were home in their pajamas while we were doing the job. They're going to sit up and complain about they didn't do the right job. We should be proud. And when history is written, you're going to see what they did when we had the greatest humanitarian crisis in our city. And we did it. National leaders came here. They didn't even want to come here. They said, we hear you're anti-immigrant. We don't want to come and talk to you. We said, well, come and see what we're doing. They came to the city. They spent the day looking at our operations. Then they met me at Gracie Mansion and had dinner, and they said, no one in the country is doing what you're doing. We want to apologize to you. We read all these headlines, but when we came here to see what you're doing, no one in the country did what you're doing. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Right. Go ahead. Right. Go ahead.
At this table, a lot of their questions was answered, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor, but they want a follow-up question with the vacancies. They like to know, why is there so many vacancies, and with folks needing apartments, why aren't they being filled?
Where's the mic? And vacancies could be a problem because people hang out in there, they do bad things.
So good question. This is kind of unique to this neighborhood here. I mean, we have vacancies citywide, but this neighborhood here, we held apartments because we have some other large projects nearby, particularly at Gowanus houses where they're doing a big comprehensive modernization there. So this was going to be used. These vacants were going to be used as units for those folks while they do those big repairs. Unfortunately, that didn't. The community wasn't so receptive of that. So now we have a large backlog that we have to get through. Now every apartment at NYCHA, we now make asbestos safe and lead free before anybody moves in. So that was never done before. Back in the day, NYCHA just used to turn these things over, and they weren't in such great shape. Now we make the asbestos safe. We remove the VAT floor tiles, replace them with nice new floors like are in here. I just was reminded that we did actually replace the floors in here very recently in November. That's why we have nice new floors, so we are investing in that center. Just want to note that. But we also make it lead free because we are obligated to abate all the lead in our apartment. So that adds some time because lead and asbestos is technical work. You have to do filings and whatnot. And then we do have a backlog, so we do this with our in-house trades. But I do want to say, at NYCHA, 2 years ago, we only had 1,800 people move in NYCHA. Last year, over 4,000 people moved in. We more than doubled our move-ins last year, and we are going to continue to roll ahead this year with some assistance from the city to ensure that we are moving these vacants as quickly as possible. But because we have vacants, we do have a little bit more flexibility at places like this for intra-transfers, and so there is some good things about that, but it is a backlog. So that's why we have vacants here. But it's harder processes, and also just some of those past decisions have come back to haunt us. But we are working hard to try to, every development is subject to a certain number they have to do every month. In Brooklyn, they turn over about 180 apartments a month consistently across Brooklyn, and every development is subject to participate in that. So we're going to monitor it. It will get better over the next couple of years, and we are going to make sure that, number one, that we're doing the work properly, so you're getting good quality apartments when you move in.
It's so important. I'm gonna go. Yes.
Yes.
Grab the mic. Grab the mic.
For families
to move in.
Now, I live here in on the other side, and I've been here for 30 years. And in my building, I'm the captain. But in my building, I have an apartment over me. Kids go in there. I don't know what they do. I hear them at 3 o'clock in the morning. So obvious, and it's over the door. So they're able to go in because it's left open. So now you can open it. And it's pretty much bothering. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning knowing that there's people and nobody lives there.
Right. All right, Captain. So can we Can we have somebody look into that? Just let the captain know the address and the apartment number, okay? All right, thank you.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Mr. Mayor?
Good.
Okay, so my table was a little shy, so I'm going to ask the question. I know you're not. Okay, so it's like two questions, but we're going to combine them into one. So the
Yes.
first one is the sidewalk over at Park Avenue where the B62 bus stops. Apparently, the sidewalk is messed up for years. One of our 10 years. Park and Navy, or more than 10 years, has been damaged, and apparently it has caused for your walker to be damaged. And yes, a man fell out of his wheelchair.
You went far from being shy.
Right? That's what I told her.
I was shy. I didn't say I was shy. And I just like to say thanks for caring that I'm in that building. No, this for over 10 years, someone did come look at it, but they didn't do anything. I also complained about the PS 67. They fixed that sidewalk, but did nothing to the sidewalk on Park Avenue.
Got it. Okay, let's get that done. Who's that? DOT? Who?
And I'm tired of buying walkers.
Okay. Get that man a mic. Okay.
Give me the location. We'll work with NYCHA in terms of getting that taken care of.
Okay. I told you it's the first.
All around the NYCHA facility, all the sidewalks, we work with NYCHA to take care of fixing all the sidewalks. So definitely give me the location. I'll leave you my card. And then give me the location, and I'll work with NYCHA to get that taken care of.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get it fixed.
Oh, you gonna buy me a walker?
Yeah, we're gonna get it fixed.
No, I think.
Huh? Yeah. What's your second part?
The second part
The
was
shy table.
No, you're not shy. So this is another bus stop location. So where the B26/B25 bus stops over in Fulton and Grand Street, bus stop was moved from in front of the 966 Older Adult Club, Grace Agar Airwood Club, which has benches for the seniors to wait on that side of the street. The bus stop was moved across the street to the next corner of Grant, which does not have any covering or benches for the disabled or elderly. So the concern was to have benches for the elderly or disabled, if possible, to be placed at that stop.
Yes, we don't, a lot of people think the mayor controls the MTA. We don't, but we are going to reach out to MTA. Can we? Okay, there you are. Come on, step on up.
Yes, again, the location and benches are under our auspices. We will definitely take care of that for you. Just give me the location, and we can put it on the list for a bench and a shelter. Okay?
All right, okay.
So I'm coming to that table before I leave, all right? All right.
My man. Okay, see you soon. There were some folks, go ahead, did I get all the tables? Okay, there were some people that have, yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Yes, I love that. Yes.
When we were speaking about schools, I wanted to say that the schools, now I'm speaking about Manhattan, but the credibility goes to you too, because the schools are also used as a center for social workers, because seniors with domestic violence and all that, in the afternoon or during the day, they have appointments so that they can still go to the school. Yes. Another thing I wanted to say was that gentleman across there, don't remember his name, many times it access a ride, when I'm stranded out there, he would assist me. And the last thing I want to say, it is said in the Bible, the good that man do is badly or evil spoken of. Amen.
Amen. I will bless the Lord at all times. All times. There was someone else who did. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Harold, I grew up in this community. I was born right across the street here in Cumberland Hospital. The 84th precinct, which is located now on Tillery and Gold.
Yes.
I remember before they moved there, they were on Poplar Street, Brooklyn Heights. And my question is, you talk about safety here in the community. Why is it that we don't have a beat cop anymore at all? I'm tired of seeing police officers in patrol cars playing with their phones. We need to be more police officers out here on the street, walking the street, not in the squad cars. I would feel more safety with that issue. Thank you.
Got it. And so you'll know what I learned is that many times officers are on their phones. Many times now the technology, we used to have memo books we write in. We used to have the ways of doing our inspection. Now it's all on their devices. It's on their devices. So many of them are actually doing their police work on their devices. But let's talk about beat cop, Captain.
All right, good afternoon. So I just got to the 88th precinct 2 weeks ago, and one thing I'm trying to bring back with me is we send the cops on what they call like directed patrol. So if there's a crime spike or vehicle collisions or whatever it may be, we send them on the corner in their cars with their lights on. I have them actually getting out of their car and engaging the community. So they'll be out of their car, walking up and down the block, and engaging the community. That's something I'm trying to bring back. As far as the beat cops, we do have the community affairs officers. I have my NCO officers. I have different officers, but one thing I have them doing is engaging the public. So instead of always being in their car, stop off on Fulton Street, Myrtle Avenue, walk up and down the block, visit the businesses, so on and so forth.
We had a patrol 24/7 when I was growing up. It's not just a once in a while thing. It was a notice where a police presence was at all times. We don't see that anymore. Like you just said, just like you just informed me, it's only in a situation. It shouldn't be like that. Their presence should be known, just like I'm saying, we knew those police officers. The police officers knew us. They knew the merchants and everybody. This is the issue I'm bringing. Their presence at a constant time.
Yeah. And as the captain stated, he wants to get them back doing that foot patrol that you're talking about. But I want everybody to be clear. Our manpower is an important issue. It's an important issue. Not only did we did over 3,000 demonstrations that we have to pull officers from different commands to go and handle those demonstrations. We still have a very serious terrorist threat we're under. We got to move officers to operate with that as well. And so the luxury we had, when you go back to when we were children, we weren't dealing with terrorism. We weren't dealing with 3,000, 4,000 protesters taking place. We weren't dealing with, the decrease in manpower. The complexities now of policing is unimaginable, and the police commissioners have to move around the resources and make sure that the manpower that the captain has, that he would have, or the PSAs, we got to make sure that when we got to pull those officers, I was just speaking to the police commissioner in the Department of Correction. We had to pull officers out of the police department to help inside the courts because of decrease in correction officers. So these officers are being moved around the board, and we would love to see them walking around doing that good old-fashioned patrol where everyone knows their cop. But the challenges now are just so huge. All of these protests that we're receiving, constant threats that we're receiving as a city because we're a top terrorist target, moving them to deal with other things that are happening. They got to move them around, and it's an awesome responsibility. Being a captain and knowing how to move that manpower is crucial. We have some commands that we put out about only 3 cars or 2 cars on the midnights. So that's why we got to encourage more and more to come into the department. Okay, I got to bounce.